Hi, I just wanted to share a quick story about a couple of moments I've had recently that felt really connected to something bigger than myself. One of them was a scary moment, and I'll start with the most recent today. I was in a session and we were studying a chapter on Christianity, and in that session, the teacher was saying something about God. No, that humans are have more access to love than animals and birds. And then somebody else said, no, I think animals have love. And I feel really close to animals. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking in the background. But so then we went into some exercises where we paired off and had, shared like talking as if we could connect to these powers. I won't go into it. And a flock of parrots came right over my office. Like, I've seen them in the neighborhood. It's been quite some time. I've never heard them that loud. And that, what do you call it? Like, that, is that the right word? That intense. They were chalking, and and I started crying and just felt like God is talking to me through these parrots, and I'm feeling love. And like, I believe one of my recent dogs that had a tragic early thing that had something to do with the botched surgery that I had volunteered that thought would help, and ended up, and I thought he became a parrot flying around. This was like 4 years ago, maybe five now. And it just felt like this amazing amounts of love through the parrots that maybe humans who have degrees in religious studies don't know everything, and I don't know anything either. But the other story that impacted me a few weeks ago was I was on my normal park walk, and I had just taken an edible of marijuana, which I haven't been doing, and it's been better without it in my life. And so I'm having this really horrible experience at my beloved park. All of a sudden, there's these loose dogs, and I have little dogs, and everything was just very traumatic. I felt like I entered a parallel universe that was like not mine, and like everything was scary, and like these big dogs off leash. Maybe I see one of those once a week, but like five in a row on the same day. And then I witnessed the most awful nature thing. And I know nature can be awful, but I go to this park all the time, and I have videos of this park on different channels of just a man-made pond, which was nice. LA did these things every 2 miles, so these birds can fly between them in this area. There's some waterfowl, and all the years, 12 years of going to this park, I've never seen anything like it. All of a sudden, one of these duck geese bird things, I think it's a Canadian, or no, I'm sorry, Egyptian goose, which is technically a duck. There were babies, and there were two parents with the babies, and then this one that looked like them came up and hunched over like a crazy villain and started stalking and stole the entire pack of babies. And I was like filming, and I stopped because I got traumatized, and I was filming the babies, and I was like walking away thinking, I don't know if those babies are going to live. And there were 7 of them. And I was telling my partner, I think God's talking to me. I'm not supposed to take part in this edible thing, in this THC thing. I think I'm getting a loud message. And I was getting haunted, and it funny to mention the dog that passed, because I was haunted for my mistakes, blaming myself for, letting him do this surgery and messing up some of his, getting him to the ER too late after the sepsis. And I had all this blame. And then when I was like walking away from the traumatic goose stealing of baby ducks, I started to blame myself, and I started going into this panic. I used to wake up in the middle of the night just screaming, no, like really trauma in my. So it was like, even though it's nature and some loose dogs, but what I experienced in my mind and my body was so overwhelmingly torturous that I kept thinking, I think this is the way God is talking to me. Like, this is like, stay on your sober path, stay on the keep your mind clear of these substances path. You know, don't just have like, oh, today's the day I'm gonna have fun. You know, it's like, and so as I was saying that, we walk another hill and we go up another hill. We walk this park, I mean, almost daily, and almost daily we walk this park, and we walk up, and all of a sudden there is a tree, and I would love to cut in this picture, but this is live, so I don't know where the picture's somewhere on a scroll. My camera. The trunk had a cross etched into it. And it wasn't etched by humans. It was like knotted. You know how like sometimes a trunk has a knot that goes inward a little bit? And you like see like outer layers, and then you know, it's not raw. It's not raw. I mean, maybe it was etched originally by a human, but it was definitely completely natural looking of a cross. And I was like, whoa. Are you kidding me? I've never thought that God's talked to me at the park before. I've never felt like a divine connection, communication happening. And then I've walked by this tree hundreds of times and never seen this cross. And it just sealed it. And I'm like, I would have thought I was crazy had I not told somebody. I would have thought I made it all up. But I said to my partner, like, I said out loud that I thought God was talking to me, right? I've never said that out loud before, ever. I've never said to my partner, I think God's talking to me right now. I think that these things we're witnessing is God's talking to me. And then to suddenly see a cross in the trunk, I was like, whoa, I'm not touching that stuff again. Whoa. And so that's my live story. Thanks for watching.